Hey everyone, welcome back to Cooking with Chef Swain. This week I'm making Bon Appetit's best buttermilk pancakes, and a little something with bacon at the end. Now let's jump to it. Once again, we've got all of our ingredients weighed out and ready to go. We're gonna do 1 1/3 all-purpose flour. Pour that right in a bowl. Then 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon baking soda. 3 tablespoons of sugar. And 1 teaspoon kosher salt. Whisk those dry ingredients together. And then we're going to do our wet ingredients in a separate bowl. We've got 2 eggs that we're going to pour 1 1/4 cup buttermilk. In a pan, you're going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter until it is just melted. And then you're going to whisk that into your wet ingredients too. Buttermilk pro tip. Buy a carton just to keep in your fridge for this recipe. Buttermilk is immortal. And one of the few things you can just completely ignore the expiration date on. Also, there's no substitute, so get the real thing or don't do the recipe. When you're whisking your wet ingredients into your dry, don't overmix your batter. You want it to mix it until it's just combined, making sure there's no dry spots at the bottom. This lumpy bowl of pancake batter is exactly what you're looking for. This is the right texture, the right color, boom. Look at that. The next tip is to put a little canola oil in your pan and then wipe it almost completely out with a paper towel. You want just a whisper of it on the pan. A whisper. Using a ladle, you're gonna pour your pancakes in the pan to any size you want. Big, small, whatever the hell you desire. You want Uncle Buck pancakes, you make Uncle Buck pancakes. Just make sure that the layer on top is pretty even because when you flip it, you want it to cook evenly. So push it around to make sure the whole thing is the same thickness. At this point, you want to look for these tiny bubbles to be surfacing on the top, and for it to kind of look a little shiny. This means that the cake is starting to cook and you're almost ready to flip this bad boy. If you're cooking these in a pan like me, you want to make sure you are turning the pan every so often while cooking. This will give the top a nice even coloration, as you can see when I'm about to flip it. And look at that, it's the perfect pancake. Now once you flip it, don't push down on the top because that will collapse those beautiful airy bubbles we made. Now that it's flipped, the cook will go rather fast, so keep a close eye on it. I also have my oven set to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside is also a sheet tray with a rack on it, so I can place my pancakes as I make them and they stay warm. Okay, what's next? Put some bacon in it? Oh yeah, I got you.
Bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes.
Bacon pancakes. Alright, we're gonna cook this bacon the most efficient way possible. In the oven. So set your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and throw that bacon on a foil-lined sheet tray. You can overlap it if you want, that's perfectly fine. You're gonna cook it until it's done. But chef, give me a time so I can know exactly what to do. No. Get used to keeping an eye on the things you cook and watching for your desired doneness. If you like really crispy bacon, then cook it until it's how you like it. If you want it less, cook it less. I like to set a time for a time under what I know it will take, and then set alarms every couple minutes from there on out until it is done. So for this application, I needed my bacon super crispy. Look at that beautiful crispy bacon. Wow. Now I won't knock cooking it in a pan, but in the oven cooks it so evenly and keeps the mess down to a minimum. Why wouldn't you do it this way? Once our bacon cools off a bit, I'm gonna give it a pretty fine chop. And then I'm gonna add it to the 2 tablespoons of butter that this dish calls for in the wet ingredients. I brought this butter to room temperature so that I could mix everything together better without having to completely melt the butter.
You'll do what I do and believe what I believe. So butter your bacon.
Yes, Father.
To add even more flavor to this dish, I'm adding just a splash of maple syrup and a little vanilla extract. Now, like I mentioned before, this butter is room temperature, so it will be super easy to just fold everything together with our super cool rubber spatula. Now, I'm going to go ahead and mix this buttery bacon mixture right into the wets of the ingredients list, making sure to whisk it to fully incorporate everything together. At this point, I'm just going to follow the recipe like I did before, adding the wet to the dry, and just whisking until it's just together. Alright, same as before. We're going to whisper on our oil, pour in our batter, and rotate the pan as it cooks. And voila! Bacon pancakes, bacon pancakes. So, what's the last step? You're going to stack them high and sauce them flapjacks. I personally like to eat my pancakes with some peanut butter in between each layer and tons of syrup. How do you prefer your pancakes? Leave a comment below with what you like. Now, how did these bacon pancakes turn out? Pretty darn good if I say so myself. This recipe is the Bon Appetit Best Buttermilk Pancake recipe, and it's an excellent jumping off point for all sorts of fun mix-ins like this maple bacon vanilla mix-in thing that I did. Link to that recipe is below in the description. If you liked today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I put out cooking videos every Monday and Friday. Also, follow me over on Instagram @SwainStash for more food pics and Obi content. Have a magnificent day, and may your quest for food knowledge be bountiful.